very, very big thank you to my brother, Nasser Burita, for this opportunity to visit this wonderful country and to commemorate the 25 years of diplomatic ties between Singapore, a tiny city-state, the other side of the world, and the wonderful and historic kingdom of Morocco. Your gracious hospitality, the warmth of the people of Morocco has really touched the heart of my delegation members and me. I convey the good wishes of President Halima Yaakob of Singapore to His Majesty, King Mohammed VI, and I had the honor, the privilege of presenting to you just now the invitation from President Halima Yaakob for His Majesty King Mohammed VI to pay a state visit to Singapore. His Majesty has been to Singapore before. His last state visit was in 2005, but we think this is now a very opportune moment for him to honor us again with his presence in Singapore. As Minister Burita has mentioned just now, we had a very productive, very open, sincere conversation. Morocco and Singapore are in different parts of the world. Both of us are gateways to the respective areas of the world. Here in North Africa, in fact, beyond North Africa, the entire African continent, and including Morocco's ability to go across the Atlantic to South America, North America. And on the other hand, the connection through Singapore to Southeast Asia and to Asia in general. So this is a relationship which has in fact been founded on very good diplomatic ties, but I think the economic dimension of it is just waiting to take off and to take off significantly. Of course, we also discussed additional areas. The first area was on climate change. Because Singapore is a small island, we are very concerned with climate change. It is an existential issue for us. So today we have signed an agreement, an MOU, for collaboration under Article 6 of the Paris Agreement, which allows our two countries to voluntarily cooperate to achieve emission targets which are set out in our respective nationally determined contributions. Collective action is needed by all countries if we are to overcome the challenges of climate change. And as someone who spent many years on the negotiations which led up to Paris, this is a meaningful area of collaboration between our two countries. So for me, this means something significant. The second additional area we discussed was how Morocco and Singapore will work together to provide technical assistance to Africa. Singapore and Morocco will jointly organize a pilot program on leadership and governance in October 2022, so that's just a few months more. This course will be organized in Morocco and for African countries. The signing of the letter of intent signals our hope to conclude an MOU on technical cooperation for Africa soon. And I want to thank Morocco again for partnering us. I think this is another fertile area where we can show the fruits of our cooperation. And this is a message that Morocco needs to take to the world. And that's the other reason why also we hope His Majesty will visit us and come to Southeast Asia and show that wonderful aspect of Moroccan society and history and tradition. When I first arrived in Casablanca, I had an opportunity to visit the majestic Hassan II Mosque. And then after that, I went to the David Hamelek Synagogue in Casablanca. I also had discussions with the senior advisor to His Majesty, Andre Azoulay. And I should add, I even spoke to the rabbi in Singapore who tells me his family comes from Morocco for many centuries. And a key point they told me was how much they appreciated the leadership of His Majesty, his father and his grandfather, and in particular the way they protected minorities during the Second World War, when in fact the easiest thing to do would have been to give in to force. So again, I just want to say how much we admire Morocco, how much we admire the leadership of His Majesty, and we look forward to hosting him and to hearing his message of peace. We've had a discussion on another issue which I know is of importance to Morocco, and that is the Sahara issue. And let me speak from the perspective of Singapore, which is a tiny city-state. Singapore abides strictly and always with the principles and purposes of the UN Charter and the relevant UN resolutions, including the United Nations Security Council Resolution 2602, which we discussed just now. And this resolution states that the Security Council took note of the Moroccan proposal for autonomy that was presented to the UN Secretary General on the 11th of April 2007. And this next part is important, and welcomed the serious and credible Moroccan efforts to move the process forward towards resolution. I would add that Singapore supports the serious and credible Moroccan efforts to move the process forward. Singapore also commends the efforts by the personal envoy of the UN Secretary General, Mr. Stefan de Mistura, and I hope that he will be given access, and I hope that all the relevant parties will speak to him. Peace and prosperity and development is on the horizon. And I think this issue has taken far too long to be resolved. It is our hope that you will be able to resolve it and make progress and bring peace and hope to all the people concerned. So thank you again for this wonderful opportunity. And again, just to add that Morocco is a wonderful country, a wonderful people, an amazing history, and you have much to show and to teach the world.
ما تنساش تشترك في القناة وتفعل الجرس باش يوصلك جديد الفيديوهات من هسبريس.